gets old. How are we doing, everyone? I'm Dave McDonald. Mr. Dave's here with you again. Yes, we're going to be drawing cartoons together today. Welcome. I've got my fun slide whistle. Have you ever seen one of these? Lots of fun. Mr. Dave, put the whistles away. All right, let's get to some fun drawing. We're going to do something a little bit different today. We're not just going to draw a character, we're going to make a cartoon. So in other words, I came up with this silly joke of mine, and I thought I would kind of illustrate that and make a cartoon out of it, and it involves 3 characters. Okay, I think you're going to have fun with it. Before we begin with that, let me just show you last week's drawing that we did. I've colored it, and so here it is. Remember, we drew a penguin and a polar bear. Now the penguin, I remember telling you I was going to fill in with black ink, but I decided not to do black ink. I wanted it to be a little more fun. So I colored it blue, which doesn't look out of place really. The polar bear, however, kind of does look out of place. I've never seen a pink polar bear. Have you? No, but in cartoons we can have one, right? So I just think it's very colorful, and I had fun. Did you draw yours and color yours this week? I hope so, and I hope you had fun doing it. Okay. Oh, before we start, did you know, I want to ask you, can one bird make a pun? Can one bird make a pun? No, but 2 can. Oh, 2 can. Toucan is a bird. In fact, I think we drew a toucan a few weeks ago, didn't we? That's the way to start it off, with a silly pun. Silly joke. All right, so let's get started. Now this drawing, this cartoon, has 3 characters. And I'm going to name the cartoon up here, well, I'll do it, I can do it in pencil. Bakery Mayhem. Mayhem, you know what that is? That is trouble, chaos. Something's going on. All right, so this is bakery characters. Donuts. We're going to make some donut characters. We're going to draw 3 donut characters, and they'll each look a little bit different, as some donuts do. All right, over here we're going to draw the traditional donut, what you would think of as a donut with a hole in it. So let's draw a big circle. I'm actually kind of oval shaped, but a circular shape with a little hole in the middle. The hole can serve as the mouth. The hole can serve as a mouth. Now the 2 eyeballs will be up here. And again, you know me, I like to use simple shapes. So a lot of these characters, these donuts, are based on simple shapes. Let's give it 2 eyeballs. I'm going to make oval shapes next to each other with pupils, and he's looking at 2 other characters here. All right, and he's pretty serious. All right, and this character, I'm going to give him a belt and a hat. Now on the hat, just draw a straight line across here. Hat, it's a policeman's hat. Yep, a policeman as a donut. Go figure. Hey, straight line, triangle, and bring it back here. So triangle shape to make the cop's hat. And now up here, it's almost another triangle, but with rounded corners. So watch this. Come up here, round it off, and go up here, and instead of coming to a point, come down like this. Up and down. All right. I think there's a band on that. And let's see, this, if we were going to color this, this would be a black brim, and that would be kind of, it's like vinyl, it's shiny, and so if you're inking it, you would leave a little white, a hint of white. I'm going to leave, there's usually a badge or a symbol up here, maybe a star, maybe the whatever town police department it is, they'll be their patch would be up there on the hat. All right, let's see. And we're not going to give legs or arms. Let's see, he's got to have his little stick there, his nightstick. And to give him the illusion that he's up off of the ground, we've done this in previous videos, a little bit of shadow. And you can do either just a flat oval, or you can just do this, just to give it a hint. And I always do this, little motion lines on either side of the character. Little slightly curved lines that indicate that the character is a little bit in motion. They're not just static, they're not just standing there. Maybe we'll give him a star. Police officer has a star. All right, so there's his badge. Okay, so there's one donut. Now we have two more over here. One donut over here is going to be called, she is going to be an Eclair. An Eclair is kind of a rectangular donut filled with, oh, I think it's filled with like custard or pudding. And that is, let's make a rectangle shape on its side. So it's not straight up and down. We've kind of leaned it over, so it's not a perfect rectangle. And then this other one is going to be a round, but it doesn't have a hole in the middle. It's a jelly donut. So both of these donuts are filled with something. This is filled with custard. This jelly donut is obviously filled with jelly. Now, to make them look a little bit 3D, we can do this. We can just a little. See what we did here? It's a little messy up here, Mr. Dave. Let's clean it up so we can see what we did. Give it some depth, like that. And the circle, let me just make sure that circle isn't touching. I don't want that circle to be touching this one. Let's make that a little bit, let's move it over a little bit. Now, jelly donut isn't perfectly round. We can make it like that. And to make this three-dimensional, we're going to see a little bit of the top and this side. Okay? Now, when we go to ink it, we don't want these perfect corners. What we'll probably do is round them off. All right? Let's do this. So the jelly donut does not have a hole. So the jelly donut can have two eyeballs. 1, 2. And the Eclair, 1, 2. And you can make those any shapes. They could have been tall ovals like the policeman over here. But now these are girl characters. So what I like to do is give them little eyelids and some eyelashes. And let's see, this one is let me do this. They're very concerned in this cartoon. I don't want to give them a look of happiness. They're concerned. They're complaining. So let's do this. We turn them up this way. Give them a mouth, just an oval shape like that, maybe the tongue. They each should have a little shadow underneath them. They're up off of the ground too. Right. Okay, pupils, concern, eyelashes, eyebrows if we want. They're both talking to the policeman. He's talking to them and they're saying something, or one of them is saying something. Let's make one of them saying something. I'll just put a little frown on this one. She's very unhappy. Oh, let's see. They've been filled with jelly. The jelly donut has been filled, so let's make a little bit of jelly. Kind of make it like a hairdo. A little bit of hair on the top, but it's jelly that's dripping down, right? And then this one has the custard coming out at the top, so that's the hairdo up there. And here's the cartoon. Here's the funny part. Here's the joke that I thought of. This policeman is saying something. All right, what's going on? So what I do when I make my word balloons, I give myself some straight lines to guide me. They're not going to be part of the word balloon. I will erase those later. But it lets me keep my lettering going straight across the page. All right, what's going on? So all right. What's going on with a question mark? All right. Now I know how large to make the word balloon, and I see that I've lost some of my space here, so the word balloon can kind of peek from behind the hat. So in other words, if I were to make an oval around this, like this, see how it kind of interferes with the hat? Well, that's okay. We would start the balloon here, bring it over here, maybe make our little tail of the balloon, which is kind of a curved triangle shape, right? And then stop it at the hat again. See how that works? So you don't have to, so they don't crowd each other. And I would always put the artwork in front of the balloon just because I think it just looks a little bit better. But that, again, that's up to you. That's a taste thing. All right, so here's a donut. And when I go to ink this, I'm not going to do a perfect circle. I might make it a little bumpy because donuts aren't perfectly round and circular. All right, so here's what he's saying. All right, what's going on? Two lines. She's going to be saying it. This is Mrs. Eclair. Mrs. Eclair is saying, we had our fillings hurt. Get it? We had our fillings hurt. We had our fillings hurt. All right, so there's the shape of the word balloon, tail, and then this one is just kind of that little accent. She's very unhappy as well. We had our fillings. Get feelings, fillings. And when I ink these words, I would choose to probably make the word fillings bold so that that word stood out from the rest, so that it would help give the reader the idea of the joke. All right. Don't know if I have time to ink this whole thing, but let's give it a whirl. All right, what's going on? We had our fillings hurt. That makes me laugh. And that's the fun thing with cartoons. You get a silly idea for a joke and you can illustrate it, and that becomes a cartoon. We would call it a single panel cartoon because it's one drawing, one panel. If there were a frame around this, that would be the panel. All right, comma. What's going on? Can you see this? Yes, you can. All right. Okay, we won't have time probably to ink this whole thing, but let me see if I can get as much done as let's see, I think for the balloon, I'm going to use this pen. And do his hat. Got a little bit of dust or something stuck to the end of that pen. Okay, there's the hat with the logo of the police department, nice thick. Brim. All right, let's see here. I grab this real thick one. Now as I draw this circle, watch, I'm just gonna kind of give it, I'm not gonna try to make it perfect circle. I'm gonna make it a little wavy and bumpy, maybe is the proper term. Because again, it's a donut. It's not perfect. So make it look kind of donut-like that way. Same way with the inside. It is his mouth. Maybe some creases in there. Make it look more realistic, I suppose, even though cartooning isn't really realistic. Let me just make the hat leave a little bit of shine on the front of that black brim. See that? So that area right there would be shiny. And we've got some eyeballs here, some oval shapes. One next to the other. He's inquiring, so I give him a, I'm going to move this pupil up just a little. Leave that little white reflection, just like I typically do. All right, okay. Star for his badge. He's got a belt. Goes across here. Maybe you could even put belt loops on there. And he's got his little nightstick here. That's for stirring his coffee. That's what that's for. That's his stir stick. Motion lines. And I'm going to use my big Sharpie for the shadow underneath. See? The illusion that he's up off of the ground. How's that? How are we doing here? Oh, we're doing pretty good. Maybe, it looks like I have time. I'll do one more here. Don't want to go too long here. We had our, now this is where I might, now I made small eyes. Something about that I like. And I'm going to make it larger. See how I'm kind of, I ran out of room, so I'm moving everything over, filling. You'll see how this works. Now that looks messy because I had to, as my word was getting longer than the penciled word in ink, I had to move everything over. And right now it looks very messy. But watch. When I erase the pencil, you can easily read what I wrote. Our fillings hurt. Now, I want fillings to be bold, so I'm going to take my Sharpie so that it makes it thicker and it makes it bold, and it will stand out to help the joke, or the gag, as they say. We had our fillings hurt. All right, and then we'll do our word balloon, the tail of the balloon. It's almost out of my reach. Over there we go. Okay, we had our fillings hurt. And you can see now those lines that I used, those straight lines that helped guide me so that my words were going straight across the page, those get erased right along with the penciled lettering. The penciled lettering goes away, all right? So when that's cleaned up, easy to read. Go straight across the page. You see that? I'll do this one as well. Erase the penciled letters and the straight lines that helped me make those words go straight across the page. See that? We had our fillings hurt. Real quickly, I'll just do one more. I want to do this jelly donut. So let's move jelly donut here to the middle of the camera. Do that jelly. Make it darker on the bottom to give it some volume or weight. All right. Okay. Real kind of bumpy. It's not perfect. It's kind of round, it's kind of square, it's kind of doesn't have a real shape, but it is dimensional, so we will, that's this line right here. We're seeing the edge, one side of that donut. And maybe you could put just some, because it does have some texture to it, just some lines like that, bumps. One eyeball, the other eyeball, that expression, pupils, eyebrows. Oh my word, there's so much. Aw, look at that, she's sad. Her feelings are hurt. What do you think? That's pretty, and you made a cartoon. If you drew that along with me, you created a cartoon. We called it Bakery Mayhem. Make sure you sign all of your cartoons. This is what I would call a fridge door comic. See, once you're done with this, maybe you add some color to it. You could put it on the refrigerator door, and that's kind of the art gallery of the home. Everyone gets to see it and have a laugh. And it's a great way to share your humor with your family, right? Fridge door comics. You just made a comic. We created 3 separate characters. We have dialogue between them. We made word balloons with lettering. We did bold lettering. So if you completed this cartoon with me, you should be proud of yourself. All right, that is really cool. What do you think? Awesomeness. And so let's see. Here I am once again. I hope you had fun drawing with me today. We created a cartoon. You created a cartoon. Again, I hope you're proud of yourself. This is a lot of work, but it's fun work, isn't it? Sure is. So till next time, I hope you be safe, stay well, and please take care of one another. All right? Till next time, keep drawing, my friend.